Okay, you should have out on your desk right now your 5-paragraph essay handout from Friday, as well as your introduction for your 5-paragraph essay. You don't want to have a first sentence that says, "In the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Tom changes a great deal during the book." That's pretty much going to put people to sleep. If you're looking at your introduction right now and it says that, that's totally fine because you're going to have some time to change your introduction today. I want to hear from 3 of you your introductions. Nigel, can you share yours?
Yeah, sure. Do you think you could live most of your life on your own wearing dirty clothes and never bathing? Well, Huck Finn did that. In the story of the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, there's a character...
Thank you, Nigel. Definitely a good first sentence with a question. He drew people in that way. Taking a look at the 5-paragraph essay, we said that the introduction is very broad. Looking at your introductions, look at your own introduction. Ask yourself, does it start with a catchy opening? Does it summarize the book in a couple sentences, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 sentences, just some background information on the book? Does it then have a thesis statement, which is 1 sentence? Take a look at the essay and then, with a partner and quietly, answer those questions at the bottom. What it does right, what it does not so well. And then we'll talk about it as a class in about 2.5 minutes. Raise your hand, let me know what you think about this essay. John.
Well, the sentence started with Sid.
Okay, so kind of repetitive in that sense. What else? Nigel?
I thought it was actually pretty bad.
Okay, pretty bad. What made it bad?
Just like, he didn't really have any like real details or examples.
Okay, so kind of vague.
Yeah.
Seth?
He talks about Injun Joe and he's supposed to be talking about Sid.
Yeah, it definitely gets off topic. Very vague. It says a lot of things that are true. It says Sid's always thinking about himself. He's self-centered. He's a tattletale. No one likes him. But it doesn't actually prove any of them. Okay, what are some examples of proof that we could add to this essay to prove that Sid is in fact the meanest character? Victor? Okay. Do you have something in mind?
For the first one?
Yeah.
The opening sentence?
Yeah.
I was thinking about going online, checking out some sort of facts.
Okay. You could easily fill this in and just say, in the beginning of the book.
That's meaning like 2 per paragraph, right?
Right. That's the big one. I think it looks good overall, and you have a good thesis. This is your thesis statement, this last one here. 3.5 minutes remaining in the period. What you're going to want to do in that time is either email this to yourself or print it out so that you can continue working on the first and second body paragraphs for homework. Your homework assignment is to come in with your intro, first body paragraph, and second body paragraph totally ready and in front of you. How many of you guys would think that you would very seriously benefit from about 4 minutes to do some very last minute things with your presentations? Okay, I'm going to give you that 4 minutes in a couple seconds. I want you to make sure that you're using it very wisely. We don't have much more time than that, so you need to make sure you're on target.
That is a splendid idea.
It's all right with me. No, you are raising your daughter the wrong way.
You were my daughter, and you were there to show respect and eat what's on your plate. Eat things. She has little teeth.
You want to make sure, obviously, when you come up, you hand me your script. You are going to give probably a little bit of background information, just so the class knows what's going on, or why you're wearing silly masks or anything like that. Background information would be who is what character, what's the scene, what's going on, just some rough ideas so that we all know what's happening. I'm going to be grading you. It's 20 points for your script. Is it believable? Could these characters really do these things? Does it make sense? And then 10 points for your presentation overall. And while each group is presenting, I want you guys to take some notes. Just very, very simple stuff. Take notes about what each character is doing and whether it's believable. Okay, so if you want to write down a quote that a character says, and you say, okay, well, Anne wouldn't really say that because I know this about her. Or, well, that sounds exactly like Mrs. Van Dam. Write down something so that you have some point to discuss from.
Anne, Katie's Margot, and Hannah's Mrs. Frank. And Anne's kind of just gonna like tell her mother what she really thinks about her.
And Anne also notices that someone's been looking through her journal. Why does it matter who looked through it anyways?
I came across it while I was cleaning, and I was shocked to see how you really felt about me.
Mother, was it that bad? Did it say anything about me?
Let's just be thankful for what we have. It could be a lot worse.
I don't know how much worse it could get. I just want to go outside and take a fresh breath of air. That dinner was simply dreadful, Anne. I never should have let you make it. You probably forgot to wash your hands, didn't you?
I did not, and if it was so bad, why didn't you just make it?
I would if I could, but my ribs have been killing me. Now, I want no interruptions. I need my beauty sleep. Understand?
Well, you need more beauty sleep than the rest of us, so I wouldn't dream of disturbing you.
Oh, this is the end of the road for me. I'm gonna die.
Calm down, Mrs. Pantheon. It's probably the cat.
That was not the cat. Are you deaf, child? It was a Nazi, a dirty Nazi coming to take me away.
Wow, that was really good. I thought it was good that you guys were able to act out scenes happening in 3 different rooms going on at one time.
Katie?
Can I say a quote instead?
Yes.
Okay. He said, anything in this house is my business, and I think that's something he would say, because he always wants to know everything and thinks it's like always his and stuff.
Very good. One thing that I think a lot of groups have been pretty on target with is Anne's pretty clever girl, and her insults are pretty clever. Jared?
I don't think she talked that much with her mom.
Okay, so definitely a lot of questions maybe about the relationship, like how strong is the relationship between Anne and her mom versus her mom and Mrs. Van Dam, things like that. These are all very good questions.
What are you kids doing in here?
I'm not doing anything.
I know you kids are up to something. I'm gonna figure out what.
Why do you always accuse us?
Don't talk back to me.
What is your diary doing in your book bag? You aren't taking that along to the annex, are you?
Of course I am.
Why are you taking such a childish toy like that? You could be using that precious space in your book bag for something that will actually come to use.
My diary is useful.
Your diary is never going to come to any use. If it kills you that bad, then take your diary. But I don't want to hear you complain about being cold or hungry. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Thank you very much, guys.